Good afternoon. Welcome to the Cruise Amigos, live from Forest, Virginia. There, John finally made it. There's John. Amigo John is in the house now. And you'll notice, let's see if we can hear John. Can we hear you, John?
You hear me?
We can hear John. Amigo Martin, I think, is still suffering from the post ceremony celebration from a couple weeks ago. And the hangover still has him, and he's in bed. So actually, he's got the flu. So we don't have Amigo Martin today. A couple things to point out, guys. This has been a really good week for me, which I'll get back to in a minute. But today has not gone as planned.
Oh.
Now, you remember the little fella over there on the other side of the pond that the actor dude that he's in the soap opera or something, and he's filming every day now, and he's been on about 16 cruises in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, this morning, Pete and I were supposed to get off the Norwegian Dawn in Venice after 7 days in the Greek Isles. And right now, Pete and I were going to be on a train going from Venice to Civitavecchia.
Yeah, this was the pre-transatlantic.
And then we were going to stay in Stenhouse House for 3 days and sail on the Norwegian Epic on Wednesday.
Yep.
And do a Western Caribbean cruise.
Yep.
And then I had all kinds of other things planned for. But anyway, that was supposed to be going on today. We were supposed to be going from Venice down to Rome, Civitavecchia. Yep. So this is going to be this is a crying in my beer show. I don't drink beer, but if I was going to cry about it, I would do that. But I could say that this has been a fun week for me.
Good.
And I usually don't say much about my shows on Cruise Amigos, but I'm going to today. I'm going to cheat. You know, I had some really good guests all week. But yesterday, if you missed yesterday's show, you need to go see it, because Hot Air Tom, while I was delivering the news like I do every day, Hot Air Tom was parasailing and live streaming from not only from the boat, but on the parasail and up in the air. And it was one of the neatest things I've ever done in my life. So go watch yesterday's show. It's really worth it. Hot Air Tom was just fabulous. So,
and in this case, it was true. He was full of hot air.
Well, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was. By the way, on Friday, my good friend, that's a good story too, John Buck was my guest, and he's on board the Norwegian. He's on the Norwegian Gym. And that's my friend John, by the way.
Hey,
good story about him. But one thing to point out, this was the latest on the construction project there in Nassau, taken from on board the Norwegian Gym. That project is going to be ongoing probably for about another 8 months until it's supposedly finished. I found one thing very interesting about the gym. I've been lucky enough over the past, 3 or 4 months now to have interviewed people on 20, 25 ships. The Princess ship was by far the best Wi-Fi signal. But the gym runs a pretty good close second on the Norwegian Gym.
Mm-hmm.
That was an excellent signal. It was, they were out at sea. It wasn't even in port.
Okay.
And it was a really good signal. So Norwegian is doing something right with their Wi-Fi. So
not on the Jade.
Yeah, well, I know. All right. So what's John been up to?
Well, I'm sorry I was almost late. You're trying to tell. We're doing planning for the trip, and I was talking over to Germany, and I gotta go. Yeah, but how about this? Yeah, but how about this? Yeah, but how? So I'm here. I made it. But it's exciting. There might be 5 of us now on the epic crossing.
Nice.
And that will just really be a fun time. So, and it'll just be It'll just be fun. Henry is just a gas.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
That's good.
You should come along.
I wish I could.
You just got.
This was the week that Carnival says, Chillie, you can't cruise until at least the end of March.
What if we could put a little port like into your chest here, and then under your shirt, you could just have oxygen flowing in there? They never know.
Hell, I just got rid of the damn port. I don't want another one.
No.
You out of your mind. And I'm not even that upset with this. I'm even wearing a Carnival shirt today. So I'm not really upset at them. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to take care of oxygen people. They got more important things to deal with than an old fat guy that has to have oxygen. So
yeah. Hey.
Now I'm getting reports back that a couple of the other cruise lines are letting some oxygen people on.
Okay.
But the official stance from all of them is no oxygen passengers allowed. No oxygen guests allowed.
Did you hear what ones are maybe sneaking a couple on?
Yeah, I don't want to do that, but yeah.
Can you just mouth the words?
Well, I wouldn't want to mention anything, but Celebrity and Royal Caribbean.
RC.
Yeah.
Interesting. Closer to home or same port returns, or?
Actually, it was from 2 different ports.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I could see it where, you get on in Miami and you come back to Miami.
And I'm just wondering if it's somebody that they're pulling the wool, trying to pull the wool over their eyes, and they don't say anything about it ahead of time. They show up at the port and maybe have it hidden, getting on the I don't know.
Well, but it could be a more VIP passenger too that they got to show off.
Could be somebody special. Yeah.
But
anyway, I'm not as much as I want to cruise right now. I'm perfectly satisfied just to bide my time.
And I'll be Facebooking live to you my whole cruise, so it'll be like you're there.
Yeah.
I'll get a little fan and some salt water, and it'll just kick up in your face a little bit. And
that's awesome.
I don't even know. If
I want to know how you're going to get the porpoises to jump outside my window.
Walleyes. It'll be crappies and walleyes.
Walleyes instead of porpoise.
Yeah. By the way, I don't even know if I should tell you this. Norwegian, just out of the goodness of their heart and knowing that we have an award-winning Cruise Amigo on our show, upgraded me to a mini suite this week.
Nice.
I just had to pay the tax, $35.
Well, hell.
And they upgraded me to a mini suite. I'm in 12086, right in the middle of the ship. Right, the elevators are across from me.
Okay.
Yeah. Blown away.
Yeah, that'd be nice though.
Isn't that awesome? I mean,
that's fabulous.
Was not looking for it.
Yeah. All right, you pointed out something to me that actually you pointed out to me, and I went looking for it, and I had fun with it.
What'd I do?
Point Guys article this week on Virgin Voyages.
Yeah, what a good writer he is.
It's written by a fellow by the name of Gene Sloan, who I've tried to get him to come on the show today, but he's somewhere on a damn cruise ship. He got off the Scarlet Lady this morning, as a matter of fact, and was going on he's sailing on another ship today. So
must be terrible to have them back.
So then I thought, well, if we're going to talk about that article a little bit, why not get Shane from Virgin Voyages to come on and let's give us an official statement from Virgin Voyages. Well, Shane had an event in London this morning and is on an airplane right now flying to Spain for an event tomorrow morning in Spain. And he says, I'm sorry, any other week, but this week I come on in a heartbeat. So we'll have Shane on to talk about Virgin Voyages sometimes. But
go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a hysterically good article. well written.
Oh, the guy's a great
fun,
writer.
obviously done tooth and cheek, but it starts. I tell you exactly how it starts off. He says, "Clearly, I am on the wrong ship. As I write this, I'm sitting in a sprawling casual food court at the top of a cruise vessel that looks suspiciously similar to a cruise ship buffet. But if I'm on the ship I think I am, that can't be." That's a terrific, and what he's talking about, that is the food court he's referring to on the Scarlet Lady, and Virgin Voyages says we don't have buffets. And so the whole thing is a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. This is not a buffet, folks.
Not a buffet.
No, this is clearly not a buffet. None of this is a buffet.
10 places with different kinds of food all in a row, but not.
Including a nice big burger. That's Gene, by the way. A nice big burger that he got on. But it is not a buffet. Now, he does later on in the article make reference to the fact that what really makes a difference and where Virgin has the sacred ground is that you don't go by and pick up stuff. They serve it to you.
They serve it to you. Wow.
And they bring it to your table.
Yeah.
So you could just go through and say, I want this, 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 and this. And you go sit down, and the waiter comes over and puts it on the table for you.
I like that.
So that's why it's not a buffet. But anyway, it was the Points guy, which I see some of their stuff quite often. But this was really, really well written. It's worth going to find it and taking a look at it. That was a nice article by Gene Sloan on the Scarlet Lady. And Scarlet Lady, the Scarlet Lady's in Miami right now as we speak. It finished its first voyage today.
It's first voyage.
First voyage. And going to sail again here in another couple hours on the next one. So it's this has been such a big week for the cruise industry in the States.
Yeah, but now what the governor of Florida is suing Norwegian? What's that about?
He's appealing. Okay.
Oh, I don't think he's very appealing.
Norwegian won the lawsuit on being able to require people to be vaccinated to get on their boats. The state of Florida is appealing that, saying basically that you can't discriminate against unvaccinated people by telling them you got to be vaccinated to get on a boat.
I think you can, but
I disagree with that position, and as does Norwegian. But the state of Florida is trying to uphold DeSantis made a ruling back several months ago, and then the legislature that's I won't say that it's under DeSantis' thumb, but he does like this to the legislature daily, and they voted 197-6 to make it a law. So it's a law, and so now Norwegian won the lawsuit, which allows them to sail with vaccinated only passengers, and they're appealing that. So that appeal is in process. Norwegian can go on as they have been until it's some kind of ruling is handed down. So that's Florida again.
I just don't think they should let on anybody except non-polio vaccinated people.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. If you've got a polio vaccination, you can't come on the ship because we just want to spread polio around the world.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. And the thing that's amazing is, despite what DeSantis and some of the conservative folks have done down in Florida, as far as vaccinations go, their numbers are looking terrific down in Florida. I'm shocked, but maybe we've got enough percentage now. They talked about that herd immunity forever. Yeah. Well, maybe we're getting to the point where there's enough people vaccinated, and who knows? I don't know. Anyway, the other thing is the kids. Now they've asked for emergency authorization to vaccinate kids 5 to 12.
Yeah.
That's like 38 million more people that are open for vaccination. So you add that to the how many ever million we've got vaccinated, and then you're looking at a pretty substantial number. So
every kid counts.
Oh, I think so. I mean,
every kid counts.
The kids. What most people don't want to understand is just by a kid being a kid, they're gonna pick up germs, and this is a germ that they can pick up either from other kids or from other people or whatever, and then they bring it home to mom and dad and grandpa and granddad.
Worse yet, grandma and grandpa. That's the great grandpa.
Yeah. So
anyway, it's just my personal feelings.
Yes, mine too. And I don't mean to get political, but I hate politicians.
See, I don't see this as political. That's the thing
I don't either.
I can't understand why this is really basic science.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One big thing on the whole cruise restart business.
Yes.
is getting San Diego started again.
Wonderful.
And getting another damn ship out there. Koenig's Dam sailing today out of San Diego. So that's another new port starting back up.
And is that fleet out of Amsterdam that they have these Amsterdamian names?
No.
Where's that fleet from?
A Carnival.
Oh, that's a Carnival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it's nothing like the Carnival ship.
No, it's a separate brand.
I love Holland America.
Okay.
I really do. I was on my next to last cruise. I was on a Zuiderdam and then Carnival Sunrise. Okay. Were my last two just before the pandemic hit.
And is there a dam ship then?
No, there's dam. They all have DAM at the end of the name.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there's a dam.
No, not a dam. But there's anything else. There's probably a John Dam.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's Euro Dam.
They're yet known for having lobster, right? I mean, their food is spectacular.
The food is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I ate in the main dining room on the Zuiderdam, I think, every meal. I didn't go to a specialty. I might have gone for sushi once. But the rest of the time, I ate in the main dining room. And it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Every meal. So.
See, for me, I mean, maybe I'm just an old farm boy from Minnesota, but, on the Epic, the main dining room is, just fine for me. I mean, I end up in Cagney's Steakhouse because I want a big fancy steak. But other than that, I don't need to eat outside of that main dining room. It's, it's 5 courses and great soups. And I mean, I understand that, you go on a cruise because you want to be pampered and eat outside of your natural eating habit and everything like that. But man, I'm telling you.
A lot of the cruises, I'm very happy with the main dining room.
And I'm a foodie. I mean, last night we ate high on the hog, but for me, Norwegian puts out a totally acceptable product on the Epic.
Yeah.
The Jade sucked. I'm sorry. It just was bad food.
Yeah. Well,
but
that can happen. You can get bad staff on a ship every now and then.
And I mean bad also because of, in America, it would be illegal. The temperature was off.
Oh, okay.
That to me is the number one
thing about food,
because being a food provider, a restaurateur,
boy,
I would have, in America, I'd have got on the phone and turned them in.
Oh, and by the way, just so you can keep you up to date.
Yes, sir.
Got to make sure that Amigo John is up to date so he can speak about this to anybody. Zhao Shang Yi Dun,
the big guy,
sailed
number one
this morning.
He what? Oh, the ship what?
Zhao Shang Yi Dun.
Why would you name a ship like that?
Well, because that's Chinese for the Viking sun.
Oh,
and I just wanted you to know that I am fluent in speaking Chinese. Well, I'm really not fluent in speaking. I had Chinese for dinner last night,
And that made you
but
fluent?
that's the Viking Sun, and it sailed from China this morning.
Wonderful. To where?
Hell, I don't know. Somewhere in China, I guess.
Oh, okay. So it's a China-run ship. I
No,
mean,
it's a Viking run. It's a Viking ship that's in China.
for a visit, or is it going to do the China run?
It sails out of ports in China to other ports in China, just like
So it does the China run.
we sail out of Port Canaveral to Nassau.
Okay.
Only it goes from China to China. There's
Got it.
there's a couple 100,000 of those folk over there, and they like to get on boats every now and then.
I hear they do.
And they've been shut down recently because of that silly stuff that we've been shut down about over here too.
Yeah. But if they cater to the Chinese market, their diet is gonna be rice centric. And I wonder how the food is. I wonder how far they venture to please other palates.
I wonder also, do they do away with all the silverware?
Well, that's yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I wonder how when I had Note as a foreign exchange student from Thailand, he started to explain to me they eat rice with every meal. Breakfast is eggs and rice.
Yeah.
Lunch, rice. Dinner, rice. And for a treat before they go to bed, they have a sweet rice. I'm telling you, my system is not geared to absorb this much rice.
No.
So, I mean,
do you use chopsticks?
Oh, fluently.
Okay.
That's why I tick people off at around the table, because I can reach over and take a grain of rice off your plate with my chopsticks.
So if you can eat rice with chopsticks.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. See, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I can eat about just everything else, but I can't. I totally screw up rice.
In the early 80s, when I moved to California, I started cooking rice at home and made it my goal to become fluent in rice in chopsticks.
Okay.
And I'm real good at it.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay. My niece is real good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it took her 40 years to get me to go.
But one of the tricks to doing that is you have to identify a kernel of rice that's got a little bit of sticky on it. You can't just take a piece of fried rice that's absolutely shiny. You got to identify your rice before you make the pitch.
Yeah. So
that you can just reach over and just do it, and then everyone, oh, wow. There is a certain amount of skill to magic that's
interesting story about my interview on Friday with John Buck from the Norwegian Gym.
The Norwegian
Gym.
Is that a boat?
Yes, Norwegian Gym. GEM.
Gem. No, gem.
I'm a Southerner, you damn Yankee. Gym.
Okay, the gym.
GEM. Gym.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'd say. Anyway.
Did anybody else get that?
A gem in your ring.
A gem.
Gem. Okay. Anyway, the very first, I had cruised, I'd been on 30 some cruises, and all of them with a longtime girlfriend who had thankfully lived 2 hours away. So we weren't around together a lot, which is why it was a long-time girlfriend, I guess, because I don't have a whole lot of success with women, and to be perfectly honest about it.
Try dogs.
So anyway, but she was my cruise buddy. We went on. She was my partner on cruises until she and her daughter decided to screw me out of $1,500 and cancel out on a cruise, literally as I was driving to pick her up to go to get on a plane in DC to fly to
no kidding
wherever we were going. So that's when I decided that I was going to go solo the first time. So I've done 30 some cruises. I'm going on a boat, Norwegian Sun, as a matter of fact, which is not, it was a new boat for me. I'd never been on it before. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what it's like. So I was a little apprehensive, to do a solo cruise my first time. So I think I probably drove up to D.C. again, got on a plane in D.C., flew down to Port Canaveral, went through the airport, got the transfer, the bus over to Port Canaveral. And I just happened to be that the bus that was next in line, I was the first person on. So, of course, I sat on the front seat because it was open.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat down and, several couples came in and they went to seats to sit together. And then about, I don't know, 4 or 5 people on back, this single gentleman comes in and says, "Do you mind if I sit with you?" And I said, "No, come down." He introduces himself, and it was John Buck from Wichita. I call him Wichita John. Well, he and I chatted, of course, all the way from Orlando over to Port Canaveral. So that's about an hour that we're together sitting on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ran into each other several times during the cruise. We ran into each other a couple times, had dinner together. Ran into a couple times on the excursion. We just, we bumped into it was having a contact to somebody that I knew on the ship. And it made my first solo venture totally comfortable. Wow. And of course, then I went on and met tons of people like you do. And of course, like I have ever since. But John and I have stayed friends, and we've tried to hook up several times to get on another cruise. And we just didn't have the right dates together, or then the pandemic having that screwed both of us up on a bunch of cruises. So he sent me a text at 5:00 in the morning the other day. He says, "Hey, I got a really good Wi-Fi signal. You want to do an interview for your show?" I said, "Sure." So there we go. That's John Buck. That was the guy that made me comfortable on as a first-time solo cruiser. Good guy.
Nice.
Good guy.
Neat.
So
nice. Oh, also this week, we were scheduled to fly Fargo, Denver, and then Lufthansa to Frankfurt. But because of COVID, they've taken the 747 off that run, and it's a Boeing 340. Okay. Which is a nice plane. I have actually not flown on a 340, but I did figure out that Lufthansa is still flying their 747s out of Chicago. But they wanted like $125 a ticket to change. So I got on at 1:30 in the morning the other day, and I ended up talking to a really nice young man in the Philippines, a United representative, and he made it all happen. So now instead we're flying Fargo to Chicago, which I love that airport, and because they have the new United Polaris Lounge, which we'll be in because we're on business class. And so, and they have the best bread pudding there, by the way. Folks, if you're going through Chicago and you get into the Polaris Lounge, it's like served in a pewter bowl, and it's bread pudding, and it's just like my mom used to make in the 50s and the 60s. It's just, is bread pudding a Southern thing for you guys?
No, not too much.
Oh, it's stale bread that's made into like, they take it and
I know
cream,
what it is.
Yeah, cream and raisins and cinnamon and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't know who they hired. It must be an old lady from, back in the time, but the bread pudding there, they don't have it in any other first class lounge, and it is so good. And but anyway, we got 3 hours in the lounge, and then we're in a 747, and we're in row 7, lucky 7, and to Frankfurt. It'll probably be my last ride in a 747 because they're taking them out of service everywhere.
Yeah.
We're down
all
to
right, now coming from Chicago. Do you go north out of Chicago?
Pretty much. It's northeast. We actually touch the southern tip of Hudson Bay.
Okay.
And then you make a big swoop. You touch Greenland. You go 100 miles south of Iceland. And you do come in to, you don't hit Amsterdam, but you kind of sweep Amsterdam and you come into Frankfurt from the north.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's a big, giant global circle thing.
That always fascinates me
to
actually see the route that airlines take.
The way to try it is get a string and a globe and put the string in your city and then the string on the other city, and you'll see that if you actually look at it then on the globe, it's a straight line. The string is going in a straight line, but if you look at it then on the map, it's bizarre. Yeah.
All right, let's see who's over here fussing at us
Yeah,
today.
yeah, lots
Jack's
of
with us from
wonderful-
out in Conroe, Texas.
Yeah. Hey, Jack.
61 degrees to a current 86. It's kind of cool here too. It's not
Well,
most
we've had
pleasant
almost 4
days.
inches of rain, so
Yeah, we didn't have that much. We had some, but I'm probably going to go buy a new car on Monday. I went out and looked around yesterday.
New?
No, not new.
Okay.
No, I have this nature of not wanting to spend money. So I can't see go spend $50,000 on a new car or something. That's just,
Well, yeah, it's best to let somebody else take that couple of years of depreciation. You get almost a new car for.
I'm getting a 2017 Subaru Forester.
Yeah.
If it all goes well, and I got to make sure that my fat butt fits in it and I can get in it with
Oh, it
oxygen
will.
and
No.
catheter and all that
It's
crap.
Forester's a big car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but and we got to make sure that it's comfortable for me. That's the whole purpose of this, because getting in and out of my truck is not comfortable. And I've had times that I've hooked the catheter and yanked on it, and that's not a good idea. Nor is it a good idea to try to pull up into the truck and the damn tube off the oxygen gets pulled out, and I have to go find the damn tube and get it plugged back in before I croak. Yeah, it's just not a good thing. So it's time to get rid of the truck. So Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Sonny down in Mississippi. Hi, Sonny. Carol's with us. Hey, Carol. Lady from up in Alaska. Good to see you again, lady.
Everybody's saying hi to each other.
Yep.
It's
Regular
wonderful.
cruise here. Yep. Happy Thanksgiving to all my fellow Canadians, Carol
Is it
says.
this weekend? Is it tomorrow? Is the day off then?
And I'll also ask, what do you guys do for Thanksgiving in Canada?
Same kind of food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sonny says, so sad I couldn't go. Yeah, that was I'm not. Yeah, I'm disappointed not to be able to do it, but as my life has evolved this past year, no, I'm not ready for that now. I'm getting better. I'm getting a lot closer, but no, I couldn't do what we had planned now. And Sonny says, way to go, hot air, Tom. I tell you what, that was so much fun yesterday. I'm not sure. I've never parasailed. So just being there and seeing hot air Tom do that. Of course, that was the same thing with the hot air balloon. I've never done that because I'm too fat.
Okay, so Sonny says she's out of New York then. She's getting on the Epic on December
5th. Yeah.
So I got to figure out how I can pass something off to her because I'm getting off of it then. I got to hide something on the ship that she can find. I got to figure out how to do that. We got to do that.
So like the some people leave the what is it? They leave the little rubber ducks.
Yeah.
Which something for Sonny that you can hide someplace.
But no, I got to do it where she can go to a bartender and she can say, "Can you go look under
such and
something?"
Such and
and the
such
bartender, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, I was here 5 years ago and I hid something under your if you reach down, can you reach down there and then it will say Sonny on it or something. Or I had a dream last night." That's what we'll do. We'll figure something out.
Okay. That could be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Everybody's just talking back and forth. Sharon's with us. Hey, Sharon. The noodle bar on the Epic. There you go.
Yeah, it's free now. There was a time when it wasn't free, but it's free now.
And everybody's nice to see everybody. NCL balconies are great. Usually do studios, told that reduced capacity upgrades are easier thinking of taking the Bliss to Cabo. By the way, Sharon is going to experience the Scarlet Lady. Just thought I'd point that out.
Speaking of the Bliss, there's a movie on Netflix right now called The Bliss. You must watch it. Everybody, you must watch it. If you like The Matrix, you will love The Bliss.
What's The Matrix?
The Matrix, the movie with Keanu Reeves from 20 years ago, The Matrix?
Oh, yeah. No.
No?
Sorry.
Well, that just proves you're living in it and you don't realize it.
I'm not much of a TV guy. I'm not much of a movie guy.
Not TV. This is.
Well, I'm not a movie guy either.
You should watch The Matrix. First Matrix.
I watch Law and Order reruns. That's about it.
Just proves that you don't realize you're living in the Matrix.
The rest of the time, I'm sitting there in front of my damn computer. They're writing news stories for my damn daily show.
About bringing your pug, yes, always. The pug is old enough, you know. They're more than 18, so dog years. So,
that must be Sharon talking about her dog.
Yeah. See now, when they name the ship, how do you Southerners say Pearl?
Pearl.
Yeah, see, so Gem was a bad name then, apparently, because when you said it, I thought it was the Gym.
GYM.
Yeah.
Gem.
So do you say Gem?
Look, I could be mispronouncing things. You know, I'm a typical Southerner. I've been a Southerner all my, even though I lived in Yankee land for 25 years, 30 years. The rest of the time I've been in the South. We do things weird. We're rednecks. So, I mean, I was tickled pink the first time I shot a turkey. I scared the crap out of the people in the frozen food section at Kroger's, but I shot a turkey. Margaret's with us. Hi, Margaret. How you doing? USA. What she says, I lost it. USA won't Brits in unless they've been vaccinated. Well, it won't let Brits in unless they've been vaccinated. Double standard saying NCL can't discriminate. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. But then that's Florida.
Sonny, I think what I need to do is like in a closet up above the closet, I'm going to stick something in there and then you can knock on the door at 12086 and you can say, I think I forgot something in my room last year. Can you go and look there? And it will be like a $5 bill. And then the people will go and get it. And then it maybe be 2 bills. And then you can give one to the people and you can take one for yourself or something. And they'll be telling that story all over the ship. It'll be the greatest story ever told. Yeah, we got to do this. We got to have some fun. And then you should say, I wonder where I hid the 100. I cannot remember where I hid the 100. And they'll tear that room apart. They will tear that room apart.
I am definitely looking forward to you of being on a ship.
And wait till I start getting Alzheimer's. It'll really be fun.
and streaming. You got to stream.
Oh, 24/7.
We got to stay in touch.
I'm going to buy the most expensive package. Just let it run.
Yeah.
They're right. Just like on, what was that show where they tracked that guy, Jim, Truman, the Truman Show.
Yeah.
It'd be like the Truman Show. You can just watch me 24/7. I'll be sleeping. Do you think he's going to wake up? He's going to wake up pretty soon. Yeah. He always gets his coffee at 6:30 in the morning, and then pretty soon, Mr. Reitmeyer, it's coffee time.
By the way, I have to tell you, I bet I've had at least 50 comments over your beet stories last week.
Oh, dang. I was going to have sugar beets here with me today and like open them up and show you all about them. And I got to do that next week. I'll do that next week.
Next week.
I'll be in Minneapolis next week.
Oh,
dang. Katie, I leave. We moved it up one day. We will be flying out of Fargo, North Dakota on the 30th of this month, and we will arrive in Frankfurt at 6:20 on the morning of Halloween. We will be in Frankfurt about a week, and then we will move up to Berlin for 10 days, and then we move down to Rome for 4 days, and then we get on the ship on the 20th. And take the I'll have a page for you guys all to see where you can track us and everything. But that's the short story. Leaving here on the 20th. 20th. What did I just say? Oh, here, I got it right here. No, 30th. We leave here on the 30th, arriving Frankfurt the morning of Halloween. So I'll be broadcasting every day something, or it'll be on the Facebook page. So yeah, every day pictures.
Good.
You'll meet all my friends, all my kids.
Put it on Cruise Amigos page.
I can do that.
Yes.
Do that. Maybe I should do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You should. That way we can all get it.
Yeah.
All right. Sharon says, I talked to a Virgin exec and asked them to bring their best friends. I'd bring my pug. Told him I'd pay for 2 people, just one of us a pug. They have no kids. That's what you were referring to. You saw that comment, and I hadn't gotten down to it yet. The guy said my idea was interested, and they wouldn't rule it out. Evidently, one of the UK ships allows dogs. It would be a game changer. There's several ships now that allow dogs as long as they are considered
service animals.
No, there's another term besides service animals. Now, it's obviously service animals with with those that have to have it, but for emotional stability as well.
Of course, the Queen Mary allows any dogs, but they're kept in a kennel.
Yeah.
But the Queen Mary is designed for people traversing the ocean. It's not a cruise ship per se. And oh God, I said it again. I got to put $1 in the jar. We hate the word per se around here.
Oh.
And so I got to pay.
So you have to put $1 in every time you say per se.
Anybody around us has to. Yeah, we hate that word.
Okay.
So, but anyway,
I remember that.
Yeah. So, but it's made to move, from England to America, America to England. So you can bring your dog along, but it's kept in a kennel. You can take him out for 2 hours a day. And so pretty neat.
Yeah. I would like to see Sharon get her dog on a cruise. That would be a stitch. I love her. I just think her dog's awesome. I just have a real soft spot for any pugs.
Because you saw Men in Black. That's where you fell in love with pugs.
Well, that's a matter of fact. I have seen Men in Black. Thank you.
Oh, you have? Oh, okay.
Yes, that is one of the very few things that I've seen. I'd cruise a lot more if I didn't have my dog. Told Virgin they could create a kennel to keep dogs if loud or while sailors on excursions. They took the time to hear me out. Well, that's interesting. I do find them very interesting. And Shane would have come on today just to play with us, just to have some fun. And so he will be with us one show real soon.
That would be interesting. Cruise ships don't have a kennel, where noisy dogs could live.
Yeah.
When, so that people can leave them alone, because you can't leave your dog in the room alone if it makes noise. That's a big problem. But why don't they have kenneling on ships? People would pay. I'm sure that customers would pay for that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. But then how far do you take it?
Well,
dogs only or cats? Of course, you got Captain Kate has a cat.
Yeah, but that's different. Naked. But as far as for people, no, because cats are wily and could be more likely to escape, and you'd have and they scratch. No, I'm a cat lover. We have cats all around here, but I don't, about Ace, but
yeah.
No, I think it would have to be dogs with certificates of the veterinary stuff, and probably not the biggest of dogs. It would have to be 40 pounds or less. That's a typical thing in apartments and living quarters and stuff. Just my idea.
Yeah, I'm all in favor of it.
I would enjoy it. Let me ask a question about that, since we're going that way. I had an idea. Ronnie, up to recently, worked at a columbaria company that makes these niches for ashes. When you go into a cemetery, now they have where you can plant your loved one's ashes in a beautiful marble wall, right?
Yeah.
What would you think about a ship having that on board? So longtime seasoned cruisers, when hubby dies, the wife can bury him on a ship, and for the life of the ship, he'll be traveling all over. What a great thing to have the wife go on a cruise once a year and be with hubby. And then when the ship gets to the end of its life, that whole mechanism would be planted in the Caribbean somewhere underwater. Or you could take your ashes off. But the idea was it would then become a Poseidon place underwater somewhere.
I just assume they take my ashes and scatter them off to a deck and just.
But you could have that choice too. You see, at some point,
Yeah,
the cruise ship could stop somewhere, and that service could be held.
That's an interesting
But
thought.
wouldn't it be neat to know that your spouse's ashes, you can't be doing it all the time, and as you get older, but your spouse's, and maybe yours too, are traveling around on your favorite ship and going to all these ports in the world for 20, 25 years until the ship reaches its life. And then you're buried at sea in one of your favorite Caribbean islands or somewhere. Do you find that of value? Folks on the chat, please let me know. Do you find that of value?
Let's see. Nikki says, John, we don't differentiate between short I and E sounds. We would always ask,
talking about
you want a writing pen or a stick
pen or a
because
pen,
they
yeah.
sound
They
the same.
Pen. Bring that pen over here. Pen. Yeah. Katie, when do I leave, and have I been to Berlin before? Yes, I have a flat in Berlin, Katie. And I'm usually, except for this COVID thing, I'm usually there for a while.
How do you fix your flats in Berlin? I mean, just a pump up thing, or do you?
Very good. Very good. It's full of Luftballons. Haven't you heard the song 99 Luftballons?
No.
You haven't heard that song?
No.
Oh. Yeah, it's a 2.5-story walk up. That's how I get my exercise. Right in Mitte. Zipt Strasse Zane is the address. You can search for it on Google. Search Zip Gipstrasse. It means concrete. Gipsstrasse. Strasse is street. Gipstrasse Zane, that's 10. And it'll show you the green entrance door.
I must have missed something earlier in the comments, because Sharon is saying something to Jack. Congrats on servicing COVID. Happy you're delaying smoking. The scar tissue thing is horrible. You'll be healthier in the long run not smoking.
And Katie, yes, right up to the software company SAP is right on our corner. Then you take a right and you go down about 4 shops, and there is the most wonderful chocolate shop in the world right there. Yeah.
Jack Mint, congrats on surviving COVID.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay, now I see. My pre-COVID routine was 1 cigar a week with friends. I never smoked regularly. And, I smoked for 56 years, and I could not stand smoking a cigar or being around cigars. And I know I was awful. I mean, I'm sure now that I know what it's like to be around other people that smoke. Oh, my God. I'm surprised my family didn't kick me the hell out of the house a long time ago.
Jack, believe it or not, scattering ashes does not go against green ideals. As long as it's not in what's considered to be like a city park or like on a city street or anything. Disneyland has a big problem with it. People want to spread them in Disneyland, and they have a special vacuum to go and suck them up. But as far as spreading them, in a hunting area or by an airplane over the ocean, I don't know if you know, but in an airplane, you can't open the window and throw them out. They'll all come back in. What you do is you get a little tube, and you put the tube in the urn, and you put the tube out the window, and they just suck out like a vacuum cleaner. We've done that several times. So that's how you spread ashes out over the Pacific Ocean.
Now, see here, folks, last week we learned about beets, and this week we learned about sucking ashes out of a plane. Where the hell else can you find this kind of information?
You put the tube out the window
on Sunday afternoon.
You put the tube in the urn, and it absolutely is ash free. And by the way, ashes is the wrong word to use on what's left in the urn. Ashes are like an example of that. It's carbon, like when you burn a box or you burn some wood and you have ashes, and that is not what's left. It's actually bone fragments that are chewed up by a machine, and they are not ash at all. The temperature is so hot in this chamber that there is no ash left at all. And the bone fragments are actually food for a tree or something. It's not carbon that is inert to the earth. If you plant them under a tree, it is nourishment to green and growing things.
We have a little spot over in the field about a quarter of a mile that way where we have scattered number of family members,
yes,
a number of our pets.
Yeah.
It's just one spot over there in the field, and we figure that that's nutrients going back in the land.
Sharon, you would have to make arrangements. There's actually boat companies on both coasts, not cruise ships, but the 100-foot boats that have ceremonies that go out over what do they call it? Coral reefs, and have ceremonies to spread ashes. And they will take any ashes from a pet or anything, and they arrange for that. The Neptune Society is who you want to contact wherever you are closest to an ocean. The Neptune Society would be happy to help you with that. So get a hold of them.
I also find the Hawaiian custom interesting, where you get 40 or 50 friends and they go out in the water and form a big circle, and they go through a number of chants and songs, and I don't know if you call them prayers in their religion, but we, as white Anglo-Saxon Protestant folk, would call them prayers. But and that's the ashes are returned to the gods out in the water. So I find a lot of the cultural differences quite fascinating. So,
have you seen on the internet the funeral for the great big guy that sang the Hawaiian guy that sang? It became so popular maybe 7 or 8 years ago. How come I can't think of it now? One of you guys knows it. Come on, the great big Hawaiian guy, very young. He died in his 30s, but he sang "It's a Wonderful," wasn't it? Oh, it's a wonderful, what a wonderful world. And you must have seen it. I'll have it here for you in a second. There I see birds, somewhere over the rainbow. Yes.
Yeah.
And they took a couple of his songs and played them when they went out in the big canoes. And his urn was like this. I can't show you here. It was like this big around. What was his name? YouTube. Izzy, yeah, but somewhere over the rainbow.
Can't find him, huh?
Israel Kamakawaula.
Ah, yeah, they're one of those good Hawaiian names.
But you'll know it here in a heartbeat when you just hear a few seconds of it. So we'll be legal.
Thanks, Jack. See you next week. Jack says, "Adios, amigos." We're getting around to that time again. Goodness gracious. We've absolutely wasted another hour's worth of Sunday afternoon again with
Do you hear it?
fun and frivolity. Yeah.
Just a beautiful singer.
Yeah.
I had asked every one of you to go to YouTube and go hear this guy sing. It will just put a step in your, just a bounce in your step today. You know, what a great guy. But he weighed 400 pounds. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Israel is his name, and just incredible guy. But when for his funeral, that's what they did. They went out in the big Hawaiian canoes, and about 400 people, and returned his ashes to the sea.
Yeah. So, what's your plans for food on your trip? You still have to do the thimble full of food and stuff?
Oh no, I'm up to like a cup, cup and a half. I mean, first of all, no alcohol.
Yeah.
I will on my business class flight, they have some really expensive champagne and a couple of French Cabernets. And I don't not drink because of an addiction or because of any health issues. I've just chosen to not drink as I get older. And I have a couple of exceptions to that. Like last night, I had in my cellar yet a $189 bottle of wine. And so last night I did taste that. I wasn't just going to give it to my friends that were hosting us. I did taste that wine because it was $189. So on the business class flight over to Europe, I intend to sample the champagne and to sample that, because I mean, I'm never going to pay for that kind of wine, or champagne.
Yeah.
But on the ship, I just mostly won't drink. I'll have a little glass here and there. But I'll just be eating really carefully, and that's why Anthony's with me to, slap my hands. I'll stay away from the buffet. I'll order breakfast. On Norwegian for free, you get continental brought to your room in the morning.
Right.
So I'll just get that because I can control what I get. I'll always have lunch in the dining room rather than the buffet, and then I'll eat. Except we get a couple of food upgrades, but otherwise I'll eat in the main dining room because I like it.
Yeah.
And I'll just be real careful. And of course, they serve small portions anyway on the ship. So I won't order two main courses like I usually do. I will order the one, and that will be it. And I walk around a lot, and that helps me to. I've never gained weight on a cruise, even before when I was eating a lot. I've never gained weight on a cruise, different than so many other people, because I become so active. Yeah. And now, having lost this weight, I should be able to be even more active. So I'm more worried about my time in Berlin, because there's so many people that would be inviting me over for supper.
Yeah.
And that's more of a concern to me, because it's like eat. Yeah. So, but I'm committed to this. This is to lengthen my life, and God has blessed me beyond measure, and it's time for me to do my part to give it back.
Well, you and I both totally agree with that one. We're both coming from much the same standpoints, and both very happy to be here today.
Very much so. It's so neat to, talk to people from around the world, and you.
And I'm just tickled pink that I'm going to be able to witness the next month through your eyes.
I'll do my very best.
I can't use my own eyes.
Well,
but I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
You'll be there with me. So, and everybody else too, as we're getting back into this. And, it's been 2 years for me, and it might be 2 years again with all the other things going on in my life. So,
all right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for today. Hopefully Cruise Amigo Martin will be back with us next week. Who knows? Maybe we'll get Shane from Virgin Voyages, or who knows what will happen next week. Never can tell. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for being with us. You guys have a terrific day. I'll see you tomorrow on Monday's Travel and Cruise Industry News at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Later, y'all.
Bye.